Hello there, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to a special type of a video today where we are talking about a list of fragrances that are perfect for summer because these are primarily super sexy fruit fragrances that you can definitely explore in summer. While you might have definitely worn a lot of citruses, marine, aquatic kind of fragrances, here these fragrances have a hero note of a fruity element, and that's what makes them very beautiful to wear at summer, especially in the evenings, especially when you're lazing around, chilling around. You want something unique, something different to smell, and I think these are perfect 10 to 11 fragrances that you can definitely check out. All right, so आज हम बात करने वाले हैं एक 10 fruity summer fragrances जो फ्रूट से इंस्पायर्ड हैं, जो आप आराम से समर में पहन सकते हो. तो ये वीडियो अंत तक बने रहे जहां मैं इन पूरे फ्रेग्रेंसेस का एक क्विक समरी आपको दूंगा. So now video right after this intro. You're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Let's get going right after this. Alright, welcome back, and the first fragrance here on this particular list is a very beautiful take of Parfums de Marly's Greenly, and this is a very beautiful fragrance that's come out from the house of French Avenue, and I have reviewed it. While at that point of time I did not like it so much, but trust me, this bottle has been with me for a long time now, and over a period of time this has really grown on me, and this is the Ether. Now the Ether from French Avenue is a very beautiful take of the Greenly, which is basically a fragrance that's got a lot of green apples, and here the hero character is the apple note that you get, specifically the green apple, which is also called the Graham Smith apple. So that is what makes this fragrance very, very beautiful. Now this is a sweet, fruity apple with a lot of oak moss. Just think about it like if you had Creed Aventus, which is the pineapple oak moss dominant fragrance. That way, this would be an apple, green apple, oak moss dominant fragrance with a lot of cedar wood, musky kind of an approach, excellent scent profile. Now, it kind of, lasts for me somehow lasting has been average. I get about 4 to 5 hours time, but surprisingly for some people, it actually lasts for 6-7 hours time as well. Projection is also pretty good. 2 feet roughly is what I would say, moderate to mid-moderate to average kind of projection. 45 minutes to 1 hour is a good projection time, after which the fragrance kind of goes into a dry down. But if you're looking for a very beautiful apple type of a fragrance, and if you like fragrances like that, then definitely try out Greenly. All right. The next fragrance here is one of my favorite fragrances. In fact, I've reviewed this multiple number of times, recommended multiple times, and I kind of absolutely love it. This is the Zellini from the house of Ahmad Al-Maghrabi. Now, the Zellini is very unique in its fruity approach because this has got strawberries, it has got passion fruit, it's got a little bit of this tart raspberry kind of a note as well. What makes it even very nice is it's also got a little bit of that green vibe as well. Also reminds you a little bit of an apple note as well. But the inclusion of a lot of musk, ambroxan, a lot of aquatic type of a vibe that you get from this fragrance makes this one of the nicest summer scents that you can wear. Very unique in its scent profile, very long lasting, 7-8 hours easily that you will get, and projects for about 2.5 to 3 feet as well. Few sprays and does a lot of good. Again, fragrances are very subjective, but most people do absolutely like this as a very unique flanker from the house of Ahmad Al-Maghrabi. Supposed to be a take on one of the Gucci fragrances, but then I'm not really sure how exactly it or how close it is, because I feel this has got a very unique touch to it. The fruity elements are very tart. It's not overly sweet. It's got a lot of musky approach. It's got a very nice aquatic vibe as well to it. Very beautifully done fragrance overall, and you can definitely try out Zellini from the house of Ahmad Al-Maghrabi. Another fragrance from the house of Ahmad Al-Maghrabi, again very popular but underrated is what I would say. This is the Muzn, and this is a vial that I have of it. Okay, I do have the full bottles as well. Now, what makes Muzn very beautiful is the inclusion of the melon note in it. It has a very beautiful sweet melon note, which is not the watermelon note, but the yellow melon which is there, which has got this lovely fruity element to it. It's got a little light sweetness to it. Now, the part that makes Muzn very, very beautiful is the inclusion of sea salt accord to it. It's got a lot of marine accord to it. It's got a lot of peachy element as well. And then, of course, it's got a lot of woody elements. But the inclusion of the marine along with that melon, the musk melon kind of an approach makes this fragrance very, very nice. In fact, It performs killer. It does a similar performance of Zelini's 7 to 8 hours time projects for about 2 to 3 feet. Extremely value for money, roughly in the 2000 rupees ballpark figure. Very beautiful marine salt, and you can think about some woody elements. Overall, if you like sweet fragrances and if you like fruity fragrances, then this will be absolutely wonderful. While Zelini has no sweet element, so to say, but this definitely has a lot of sweet element, but then also a lot of fruity element. And getting a musk melon based fruit fragrance is quite difficult to come by. So this is absolutely beautiful to try out from Ahmed, called as Muzni. The next fragrance is basically a pineapple fragrance. Now here we have lots of options that you can actually choose from, because pineapple as a note is available across many fragrances, so you can actually choose quite a few options. But if you think about pure pineapple fragrances, then you can think about Qaid Al Farsan, which has got a lot of pineapple and dry woody element. You can think about Rave now. You can get even Club de Nuit Intense, which has got a lot of pineapple and oak moss kind of an element. Or you can go to the Hachivat round, where you have pineapple but you have a lot of woody elements. So all of them are different, but all of them have a hero character of pineapple. So you can choose any one of the pineapple fragrances and they're absolutely going to be beautiful. The only element here is, because this is such a common DNA across, because a lot of people like wearing the alternates of Aventus, Achievers, this kind of a DNA, it might not be regarded as a very fruity profile as such, but still I would say that it has a hero character. So definitely Qaid Al Farsan is one of the budget friendly options that you can think about as a very nice pineapple fragrance. You can go all the way up to Club de Nuit Intense Pure Parfum, or even the Afrinan Supremacy Not Only Intense are also as a very good pineapple based fragrance with a lot of woody elements, with a lot of oak moss to give you a nice summer fruity kind of a vibe, and one of the favorite fragrances definitely this year. Now all of them do have fragrance performance between 4 hours to 5 hours to 6 hours, and even beyond that in some cases as well. And a price point for something like Qaid Al Farsan would be like 1250, 1350 rupees, going up to Supremacy Not Only Intense, being the most expensive at about 4000 rupees plus. Okay, so at this ballpark figure, you get a lot of fragrances in the pineapple range, and you can choose any one of them. They're absolutely wonderful for summer. Next, one of my recent finds and one of my new fragrances that I kind of absolutely love. This is the Vibe from the house of Maison Alhambra, which is an alternate of the popular Louis Vuitton Specific Chill. Now, what makes this a very beautiful fragrance is the inclusion of fig on it and peaches in it. So mix this with a lot of fig and peaches. It's got this summer citrusy element. It's got this beautiful calming kind of an apricot note as well, which will give you a very soothing kind of an element to it. Now the peach and the apricot note here is not the most dominant note here, but somehow it is still a lot more fruitier and very nicely done fragrance, especially if you're looking at wearing something for indoors, wearing something for office, and you want a unique signature scent profile, then you can definitely consider Vibe. Now, the only flaw that I find with Vibe is that the performance of this is about average. You get about 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours on apparel, on skin. That's why I would recommend it for indoors. But if you're looking for a very unique scent profile that is very mass pleasing, can get you a lot of compliments, especially on date nights or with family and so forth, then this is something to consider, because you'll get this for about 2000 rupees, roughly 2000, 2200 for that particular price point. I think you get something very, very beautiful, very unique, has got a little bit of that tea note to it, vibe in it as well, but overall a very nice fruity fragrance from Maison Alhambra called Vibe. Next, a fragrance from the house of Fragrance World, and this is one of the beautiful fragrances that you can get. This is the Jean Gustave Amaze, which is basically an alternate of the La Bao from Jean Paul Gaultier, which is basically a very tropical, fruity, beautiful scent, which has got a very nice amount of coconut, creamy coconut, milky type of a vibe. Very oily coconut as well, you can think about, but mostly think about it this way, that if you were to grate coconut and you would have used coconut for making curries and all of that, and when you grate coconut you get a coconut milk, and when you smell that coconut milk you do get that tender coconut vibe, but then you also get that oily feeling in it. That's the type of vibe that you kind of get in it, which is very comforting, very beautiful. Now the only part about this fragrance is that the performance is average. You get 1 to 1.5 feet of projection lasting for about 3 to 4 hours time. So if you're looking for wearing something on a holiday, if you're looking to wear something in a car, or you just want to smell coconutty with a little bit of a tropical vibe, maybe in the evening, something like that, you can definitely consider getting this. Probably availability might be a little bit of a challenge, but trust me, this is one of the nicest bottles to have. And look at the juice color in this, it looks very, very gorgeous. Very beautiful fragrance bottle, very beautiful fragrance as well. I just wished it performed a little better, but otherwise a very wonderful fragrance to consider to have for summer evenings, called Amaze from John Gustav Amaze from Fragrance World. The next fragrance is part of the Honor and Glory series. Now, in the Honor and Glory series, typically you have the oud fragrances, but then you also have two flankers, but specifically one flanker called the Sublime. Now, this is the red flanker that is there. This is basically a fragrance that's got a lot of lychee dominant notes to it, a lot of fruity opening with a little bit of a floral vibe to it, but the predominant note is the lychee profile and makes this fragrance very, very beautiful for summer. Now, you also have the Honor and Glory as well, which is the pineapple one, which is there, but that's more on the creamier side, that's more on the gourmand side, and that's the reason I did not actually include that in that list. But if you're looking to wear for something for evening, you could definitely consider that as well. But I would suggest you to definitely try Sublime, because Sublime has got a very unique profile, and I think it's one of those Kayali fragrances which is done very beautifully done. And the way in which it opens up, the way it performs, beautiful, underrated fragrance. Performance is moderate, 4 to 5 hours time. Projection is about 2 to 2.5 feet at maximum. But if you're looking at a fragrance that leans a lot towards lychee, a little bit more towards the floral, woody vibe, then definitely consider Sublime from the house of Latafas as part of its Honor and Glory series. The next one, when you think about fruity fragrances and when you think about summer fragrances in a budget, you can't miss out this beautiful baby called as Bright Peach from the house of Maison Alhambra. Now, this is a take on Tom Ford's Bitter Peach, and this is a very beautiful fragrance, especially for folks who love a fruity fragrance, who love a peach note specifically. So this fragrance actually opens with a lot of sweet, powdery, fruity element, definitely making you think about a peach or an apricot for sure. And then that peach note will remain for about 20-30 minutes time, and then it starts to transition into a more woody, dry, powdery kind of a fragrance, which makes it very, very beautiful. It's a very unisex fragrance in my opinion, and if you like a beautiful peach dominant fragrance, especially something that you like wearing with to offices, something that you can just wear casually without a lot of things, but you can get a good amount of compliments, you can definitely consider this. A bit sharp in my opinion in terms of its opening, but you will get about 4 to 5 hours of performance on this. Projection is again average 2 to 2.5 feet. That is one of the things with all of the fruity fragrances. I find that they are moderately in terms of its projection. Okay, so not very loud beast mode kind of thing, but at about 1600 rupees, 1600 rupees, I think this is one of the most value for money, beautiful fragrances that you can definitely consider getting if you like a peach note for sure. This is Bright Peach from the house of Maison Alhambra. The next fragrance is basically from the Latafa series, and this is the Ajab Dubai. Now, I actually wanted to bring you the portrait fragrance, the Ajab Dubai portrait, because that is the fragrance that I was looking to get and review because I had heard a lot of good things about it. But I actually ended up getting this, and now surprisingly this is the take of Black Phantom Killian, and this is a super fragrance, but I will review it shortly. But I did get this as well. Like I said, this was the one that I was intending to get. This is absolutely beautiful if you like a mango fragrance, especially now being summertime and mangoes are available everywhere, and a lot of you I know are mango lovers. And if you like mango as a fruit and you want a scent that smells something on the lines of mango, then you should definitely consider getting Ajab Dubai Portrait. Now, what makes this very beautiful is the way the mango smells. The mango smells very ripe here, and this has other elements as well, like a lot of oranges, jasmine, osmanthus, sandalwood and all of that. But the way the mango smells here is, if you've tried a pulp version of mango, okay, especially those nature bars that we had when we were kids, which were about 5 rupees, you know, where this was made through using mango pulp. That is the way this kind of fragrance smells, and that mango note is dominant for about 3 to 4 hours time, and after which it goes into a dry down where you get more of a woody element, more of a musky, powdery element, and smells absolutely wonderful. So if you love a mango fragrance, then definitely consider getting this, because this is a take on Stephen Humbert's Lucas 7 777 Soleil de Jeddah Mango Kiss. Okay, now very beautifully done fragrance. This, I wish it was a little bit more denser, a little bit more natural smelling in terms of the mango element, but nonetheless this is a very beautifully done fragrance, and if you like a mango note, you should absolutely consider this. Now it does perform pretty well. You will get about 6 hours to 7 hours of performance and projects for about 2.5 to 3 feet at sub 2000 rupees. This is a very beautiful underrated fragrance to try. I will review both of them actually because both of them are really good. This one is a beast mode killer fragrance as well. Somebody who loves a coffee fragrance should consider getting this. But we are talking about fruits today, and for mango, get Ajib Dubai Portrait from the house of Latafa. The next fragrance is from the house of Tom Ford, and Tom Ford has smoked cherry and electric cherry and a lot of those cherry fragrances, and if you kind of like a lovely cherry fragrance, then you should consider getting Royal Cherry from the house of Ahmad Al Maghrabi. Now this is a take on that same cherry fragrance from the house of Tom Ford, but what makes this very nice is the way it kind of opens. It has this lovely smoky element to it. It has a nice tart elements, this the cherry vibe that you get, this plumacious cherry type of a vibe, very beautiful, and that note itself remains for about 45 minutes to 1 hour, after which the fragrance transitions into a more woody, sweet, dry element, which is very nicely done. Overall, if you like a nice cherry based plumacious plum type of fragrances, fragrances that have got a tart but sweet opening, then you will actually like this. And it has a kind of a smoky element too, so you will get a little bit of a Middle Eastern touch to it, where it has that smoky vibe to it. Overall, it's a very beautiful fragrance, long lasting. You will get about 5 to 6 hours performance easy, projects for about 2.5 to 3 hours time as well. Now this is in the 2,500 rupees to 3,000 rupees category, but if you do not want to get this, you can also consider getting Maison Alhambra's Lovely Cherry as well. Now Maison Alhambra's Lovely Cherry is about the 1,500-1,600 rupees. You get a 80 ml, but like how you have the bitter peach or the bright peach element from Maison Alhambra, this also has a little bit of a more of that powdery woody element, and the sweet cherry element remains for about 15-20 minutes only. But otherwise, this is also a very good fragrance to consider for office use. But if your budget can extend to a little bit more and you want a nice good smelling cherry fragrance, then you can definitely consider Royal Cherry from the house of Ahmad Al Maghrabi. Now the last fragrance is basically a bonus fragrance, and we've spoken about a lot of pineapple based fragrances here, but there is one that I think is very unique and yet one of the nicest fragrance releases of 2024-25, and I'm talking about the 9 PM Rebel. Now the 9 PM Rebel is a pineapple fragrance, but it also has a lot of cotton candy vibe, sugary sweet Baccarat Rouge type of a vibe, and that makes this very beautiful. It has a lot of oak moss, it has a lot of pineapple, but that sugary sweetness makes it very beautiful party going fragrance, and one of the nicest underrated fragrances because this performs for really long 6-7 hours of performance. You will easily get, plus it is a compliment magnet, it's a mass appealing DNA that is liked by a lot of people, and at the 2,800 rupees ballpark figure, this is a very beautiful fragrance to get for summer. Right? Now those were the summer fragrances that I actually wanted to recommend to you, which are fruity, which are sexy, which are absolutely wonderful for you to use during this point of time, and you can actually get a lot of compliments. Now let me do this quickly in Hindi. तो आज हम बात करेंगे 10 ऐसे फ्रेग्रेंसेस जो फ्रूटी हैं, जो समर में आप पहन सकते हो. ये कोई टॉप 10 लिस्ट नहीं है, बट इसमें अगर हम चूज करेंगे तो अगर आपको एप्पल पसंद आता है तो आप फ्रेंच एवेन्यू का एथर मंगा लीजिए, क्योंकि इसमें आपको एक ग्रीन एप्पल का नोट मिलेगा. ओक मॉस के साथ तो काफ़ी अच्छा है, एक ब्यूटीफुल फ्रेग्रेंस है, आप कंसिडर कर सकते हो. परफॉर्मेंस भी काफ़ी ज़बरदस्त है. नहीं तो आप जेलिनी ट्राई कर सकते हो. जेलिनी में आपको पैशन फ्रूट स्ट्रॉबेरी की एक नोट मिलेगा, एक मस्की अप्रोच मिलता है, जिसकी तरीके से एक लॉन्ग लास्टिंग फ्रेग्रेंस 7-8 आवर्स का ईजी मिल जाता है. काफ़ी ब्यूटीफुल फ्रेग्रेंस है. नंबर 3 पे आप वाइब ट्राई कर सकते हो, मेसन अलाम्ब्रा का वाइब. इसमें आपको एक एप्रिकॉट नोट, फिग की एक नोट मिलती है, जिससे समर फ्रेग्रेंसेस के हिसाब से काफ़ी अच्छी है, बट इसकी परफॉर्मेंस थोड़ी कम है. तो इंडोर्स के लिए आप ज़रूर उसको यूज़ कर सकते हो. काफ़ी ब्यूटीफुल डीएनए है, वेरी यूनिक है मेरे अप्रोच में, और ये ज़रूर आप यूज़ कर सकते हो. नंबर 4 पे है मुज़्न, ये आमद अल मगरबी की तरफ पे है. इसमें आपको मस्क मेलन का एक नोट मिलता है, उसके साथ बहुत सारी नमक और एक्वाटिक मरीन वाइब की एक वाइब मिलती है. लॉन्ग लास्टिंग बीस्ट मोड सेंट है, 7-8 आवर्स ईजी परफॉर्म करता है, अच्छा प्रोजेक्ट करता है. 2000 रुपये के अंदर अंडररेटेड और बहुत ही वैल्यू फॉर मनी फ्रेग्रेंस है. इसके बाद हम बात कर सकते हैं बहुत सारे पाइनएप्पल फ्रेग्रेंसेस के बारे में। इनमें कईद अल फरसान, रेव नाउ, क्लब डे न्यू इंटेंस, प्योर परफा और अफनान का स्नोई सुप्रीमेसी नॉट ओनली इंटेंस, ये कुछ भी आप ले सकते हो। पूरे पाइनएप्पल फ्रेग्रेंसेस हैं, थोड़े में पाइनएप्पल और ओक मॉस है, थोड़े में पाइनएप्पल और ड्राई है, थोड़े में पाइनएप्पल ब्लूबेरी, इस किस्म का एक जॉनरा है, बट सब में एक पाइनएप्पल का एक हीरो नोट मिल जाता है। तो इस वजह से पाइनएप्पल से समर में पहनने के लिए काफ़ी अच्छा लगता है, एक फ्रूटी एलिमेंट है और इसका परफॉर्मेंस भी अच्छा मिल जाता है। आपको 1,500 रुपये के अंदर से कईद अल फरसान से आपको 4,000 तक आपको एक बहुत सारे फ्रेग्रेंसेस ऑप्शन मिलते हैं। तो आप इनमें कोई भी एक डेफिनेटली ट्राई कर सकते हो। नेक्स्ट हम बात करेंगे एक काफ़ी ब्यूटीफुल फ्रेग्रेंस, वर्ल्ड का फ्रेग्रेंस है। इसको जॉन अमेज गुस्ताव बोला जाता है या जॉन गुस्ताव अमेज बोला जाता है। ये जॉन पॉल गॉटियर का लबाव का एक ब्यूटीफुल ऑल्टरनेट है। इसमें एक कोकोनट का वाइब मिलती है, एक अच्छी एक ड्राई ब्यूटीफुल क्रीमी टाइप का एक कोकोनट मिलता है। जैसे आप समझो कि आपने नारियल को मिक्सी में मिक्स किया तो आपको दूध निकलता है, जो बट उस दूध में आपको एक क्रीमी नारियल की स्मेल भी आएगी, बट उसके साथ की एक ऑयली स्मेल भी आएगा। उस तरफ का एक स्मेल मिलता है जो आप आराम से कहीं वेकेशन में, कहीं कैजुअली जब बैठे हो तो आप ज़रूर इसको ट्राई कर सकते हो। मेरे हिसाब से काफ़ी ब्यूटीफुल फ्रेग्रेंस है, बट इसकी परफॉर्मेंस थोड़ी लो है, तो आप डेफिनेटली इसको भी आप ट्राई कर सकते हो। इसके बाद है ऑनर एंड ग्लोरी की जो सीरीज़ है, जो बादे उल अलूद की सीरीज़ है, उसमें एक सबलाइम करके एक परफ्यूम है जो लाल कलर की परफ्यूम है। उसमें आपको एक लीची का एक नोट मिलता है, एक फ्लोरल वाइब मिलता है, थोड़ी वुडीनेस मिलता है। काफ़ी अच्छी फ्रेग्रेंस है। मुझे लगता है कयाली का एक फ्रेग्रेंस का एक ऑल्टरनेट है, काफ़ी अच्छी वाला एक फ्रेग्रेंस है जो आप हमेशा ट्राई कर सकते हो। परफॉर्मेंस भी आपको मॉडरेट मिल जाएगा 5 से 6 घंटे तक, बट एब्सोल्युटली पैसा वसूल फ्रेग्रेंस है अगर आपको खासकर लीची जैसे एक नोट बहुत पसंद आता है। उसके बाद है हमारा ब्राइट पीच, जो आपको अगर एक पीच नोट पसंद आता है तो ज़रूर मेसन अल्हम्रा का ब्राइट पीच ट्राई कर सकते हो। ये आपको बजट में मिल जाएगा और इसकी परफॉर्मेंस एवरेज है। तो स्टार्टिंग में आपको थोड़ा अच्छा पीच का एक स्वीट नोट मिलता है, उसके बाद थोड़ा पाउडरी वुडीनेस में के हिसाब से ये चले जाता है। काफ़ी अच्छी वाली एक फ्रेग्रेंस है जो आप डेफिनेटली ट्राई कर सकते हो। उसके बाद है हमारे लताफ़ा के अजब दुबई पोर्ट्रेट, ये एक मैंगो वाली फ्रेग्रेंस है। ये आपको स्टीफन हम्बर्ट लूका 77 की मैंगो किसकी याद दिलाएगा। ऐसा लगेगा कि आपने आम पन्ना का कुछ फ्रेग्रेंस पहना है। काफ़ी अच्छी आया है, 5-6 घंटे आपको परफॉर्मेंस मिल जाता है। 2000 के रेंज में काफ़ी अच्छी वाली एक फ्रेग्रेंस है, इसको भी आप डेफिनेटली ट्राई करो। उसके बाद आती है लवली चेरी, ये आमद अल मगरबी की तरफ है। ये आपको टॉम फोर्ड की स्मोकी चेरी या इलेक्ट्रिक चेरी की टाइप की एक फ्रेग्रेंस को याद दिलाता है, जो एक चेरी बेस्ड फ्रेग्रेंस है। काफ़ी अच्छी है, मेरे हिसाब से आपको डेफिनेटली इसको ट्राई कर सकते हो। अगर आपको एक टार्ट प्लम जैसे एक वाइब चाहिए, एक चेरी जैसी एक फ्रेग्रेंस चाहिए, तो आप इसको ट्राई कर सकते हो। बट अगर आपको बजट वो नहीं देता है तो आप मेसन अल्हम्रा का लवली चेरी भी ला सकते हो, बट इसका आपको परफॉर्मेंस थोड़ा कम मिलेगा। 4 घंटे परफॉर्मेंस मिलता है मेसन अल्हम्रा के फ्रेग्रेंस में। थोड़ा सिंथेटिक है ओपनिंग में, बट अदरवाइज काफ़ी अच्छी तरीके की एक फ्रेग्रेंस है जो बहुत फ्रूटी है। लास्ट इस फ्रेग्रेंस लिस्ट में एक फ्रेग्रेंस ऐड करना चाहेंगे, वो है एक बोनस फ्रेग्रेंस 9 PM रेबल। ये एक ब्यूटीफुल पाइनएप्पल का फ्रेग्रेंस है, बट इसमें जो पाइनएप्पल का मिक्सचर विद ओक मॉस और एक कॉटन कैंडी की वाइब आपको मिलती है, तो इसको काफ़ी यूनिक बना देती है। मेरे हिसाब से लॉन्ग लास्टिंग अंडररेटेड फ्रेग्रेंस है और काफ़ी ज़बरदस्त फ्रेग्रेंस है जो आप डेफिनेटली ट्राई कर सकते हो। ओके, तो ये थे सारे थोड़े 10 to 11 फ्रेग्रेंसेस जो आप फ्रूटी फ्रेग्रेंसेस है। ये सब आपको थोड़े हमारे वेबसाइट में मिलेंगे, तो आप DM भी कर सकते हो व्हाट्सएप पे और पता कर सकते हो जो अवेलेबल है वो आप डेफिनेटली ट्राई कर सकते हो और आपके समर फ्रेग्रेंसेस को आप एंजॉय कर सकते हो। So those were the 10-11 summer fragrances that I thought of bringing to you, which are fruity fragrances. Next, I would want to bring you aquatic marine fragrances as well that you can wear during summer, during the office hours, throughout the year, and all of these. All of them or most of them are available on our website. You can DM me to join our WhatsApp group and get a list of fragrances that you would absolutely enjoy. And I'll see you on another video. Until another time, take care. Bye bye.